God does not come down. God uses people to help people. So when you have been helped, you appreciate them, and then God will know that you have also appreciated him. I have never told anybody to worship me. Nobody can worship man. All of us believe that we only have one God, and it's only that God we worship, and we will continue to worship that God. But as politicians, we appreciate people who have helped you. You know, I want to say this clearly. Well, in life, when you have made a mistake, you say you have made a mistake. There's nothing you can do about it. I have made a mistake. I went it up, and I said, God, forgive me. And I'll say, all of you forgive me. But we'll correct it at the appropriate time.
If you want to know what mistakes are, you will soon know. For 8 years under your watch, brothers could not speak to one another, because if you did, they will say, on which side of the divide are you? Big mistake. Have you fixed that divide, or is it still there? Oh, single-handedly, you alone, in your own words. I didn't say it, otherwise I would take permission and say allegedly. But you said it yourself in public. You know you are the only governor that is a content creator. You came out and you said, hey, I single-handedly bought the form, single-handedly worked and ensured that everybody became this and that. That's what shouldn't be said in public, but you said them. You should have been arrested and locked up, but what do I know?
The anger on her face says it all. That this thing really pained her, because actually she's from River State. And the commander said, who owns River State? He said, we, the Rivers people, are the owner of the River State. That is not even Wike. So guys, let me now let you guys enjoy the rest of the video and hear this from actually an actress by name Hilda Dokubo. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Don't forget to air your views in the comment section.
In the voice of my Calabari people, when you hear somebody talks, you have 3 reactions. One is Sindo, the other one is Bukroma, or the one that Rivers people had a lot of one time. So in this case, I do not know which one I should start with, whether to say or to say Bukroma. Mistakes. You know, I used to think that when people say I made a mistake, they correct it immediately. But since a date is fixed ahead of us as to when this mistake will be corrected, I hope that all the mistakes will be corrected. Not just kicking Fubara out as you think you can and claiming that you are not God Almighty. But we will come to that to know whether you are. Put it at the feet of Wike. Who do they put problems at their feet? Is that not God? Anyway, let's go to the mistakes. Since you want to fix mistakes, please fix this immediately. Since 1999 till date, everyone who has ever been governor of River State wants to end up as president of Nigeria. Big mistake because they keep taking our money and spreading it around the rest of the country and depriving the people of River State. Big mistake. The next big mistake that you may need to fix is that nobody has been able to probe any government of River State till date. Oh, maybe you will need to do that. It is not just probing that needs to go too. So I hope you can get it out of the way. Big mistake. You want to know what mistakes are? You will soon know. For 8 years under your watch, brothers could not speak to one another, because if you did, they will say, on which side of the divide are you? Big mistake. Have you fixed that divide, or is it still there? Oh, single-handedly, you alone, in your own words. I didn't say it, otherwise I would take permission and say allegedly. But you said it yourself in public. You know you are the only governor that is a content creator. You came out and you said, hey, I single-handedly bought the form, single-handedly worked and ensured that everybody became this and that. That's what shouldn't be said in public, but you said them. You should have been arrested and locked up, but what do I know? I'm an ordinary actor acting. Abi? Big mistake. Big mistake that you people created a divide between the riverine and the upland, and you think that because we are common citizens we have no right. When we point at what's happening to our youths and children, you are looking for photo ops. You want structures that you will stand behind and do like this and then probably dance to. The lives of our young ones didn't mean anything to you. Big mistake, because every project started before you was abandoned for you to introduce something new that didn't last. Imagine a school having dilapidated structure on the right and new structure on the left. both to cater for the same students. Hi, education cannot be that bad. Schools constructed by a previous administration, now overgrown by weed. Why? Because there is an enmity going on between two brothers. Big mistake. Oh, you want to correct mistakes? Please correct them very quickly. River State is River State by the use of the rivers that is around us. Yet all the ones in Port Harcourt City has been filled and one supermarket sitting on them. Guy! Big mistake, big mistake. Children don't have anywhere for recreation anymore. All our fields converted to shops, and we're looking out for mistakes. Please fix these mistakes. Don't keep a date. Oh, we were told when the time is right, we will know who owns rivers. Well, let me tell you who owns rivers. We, the people of River State, whether upland or riverine, every child of River State and everyone who resides in River State, we own River State. Oh, big mistake, I forgot. We're just common citizens. Yeah, come on. That's why you trivialized us. That's why you decided that you will construct a road all the way to the 3 LGAs that gives you money, the Calabari LGAs, and yet one lane cannot accommodate 2 vehicles. So if one car breaks down, you have to roll a Jew and carry the second car on your head. Big mistake. Who created who? Who did what to who? Ha! We all know the role that Auntie Faka, good luck Jonathan, Mrs. Jonathan played in your life. What was the way you showed her appreciation? You broke down her house. Big mistake. We are not all blind. Since we're fixing mistakes, let's fix all of them, one after the other. The children who have died in the course of defending rotten politics, how are we getting them back to their families? How? Big mistakes. As for those 20 whatever who defected and went to another party, hey guys, big mistake. Your fight is not against any individual. It is against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That Constitution, no matter in what state it is still a Constitution. And it says, once you defect, automatically your seat is vacant. So the time to fix it is when the courts rule. At that point, we will know who is what. You are not God. And me, I acknowledge that you are not God, except that those who follow you do not think that you are not God. Please listen to that song. Put it at the feet of Wike. At whose feet do they keep problems? At the feet of God. Who is it that brags and says nobody can remove you? Oh, I don't know, but you say you are not God. So I'm just helping to help you push that fact that you are not God. Big mistake that you think that all of us will just suddenly turn stupid and not remember.
You're going to support the governor?
I think, contrary to what is making rounds, the expertise motion was not instituted by the governor. It was instituted by the current speaker, so to speak, and his members. And the governor was actually joined in the order. I think it's a good thing, an interesting development. I think the governor is beginning to sit up and do the needful. And of course, all the issues around the governor visiting the assembly quarters and the fact that people are using that against him. And don't forget, I'm not speaking for the governor, but I'm just stating the obvious. I mean, he's the governor of the state, including the state assembly quarter. He has every right to go there and see things for himself. And so it's not a good development for my dear state. The political melodrama that we are seeing and all the intrigues and fiasco, it's not helping us at all. Yeah. And the earlier we told the line of peace and bring the people responsible together so that we can find a lasting solution, the better. There are a whole lot of issues that are playing out, but I always say that it's important to reason from cause to effect. It's important to go back to what is really responsible for all of this. How did this whole thing, how did it come to become an issue that we are grappling with now, two things or three things plays out. Number one is power tussle. Both Siminalayi and his godfather wants to be in charge of power. And who is the rightful person to be in charge of power and authority? Siminalayi. The ex-governor is an ex-governor. That's who he is.
That's Nyesom Wike.
Yes, and he is now the FCT minister. The other one, which people don't often talk about, is who controls the resources, the money. And obviously, there are interest, personal interest who wants to, and group of people who wants to lay hold on the resources of the state and use them for their personal goal. The other is one who is in charge of the resources and he wants to use it for the betterment of the citizenry, in this case, Rivers State. The third thing is who actually controls the political structure, which, of course, one of the people involved kept saying he wants to destroy my political structure. He can conduct election, but then the ex-while lawmakers has already passed a motion extending their stake, which is illegal. I don't need to be a lawyer to know that that's an illegal move, okay, because the Constitution does not warrant that, okay. However, the question of someone puts you in power, who has ever assumed power that somebody else did not put him there? Is it the ex-governor, the former governor? Let me remind you, first, he started as local government chairman. Somebody put him there.
Yes, so
all right?
Local government
yes,
chairman.
Good. Then he metamorphosed to becoming the chief of staff. Amechi put him there. He went on and became the Minister for Federal Republic of Nigeria as Minister of State for Education. Jonathan put him there. He went on and became the governor of Rivers State. Jonathan put him there. Now the question is, did any of these people come back to tell him what to do, what not to do? I don't think so. I wouldn't have taken that decision. I want to be very fair. Taking it to government house. I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have looked for another neutral place. And he can reverse himself. That's what leaders do. He can reverse. He can decide to change his mind, take another, do another executive order, and move them out of government house. But the point is, there's been this lingering crisis, and every now and then, go down the memory lane, you will discover that every governor uses this House of Assembly, and it has become a destroyer of the democratic institution in the state. Is not good. It's not good for development of democracy in my dear state. It's not good for economic development or in the state. It's not good for sanity of the people. The people are so anxious. I talk to my people every now and then. They're so anxious. They don't know what will happen, what will be the next thing. Why would these individuals hold the state, to ransom? Why? For what reason? If you are comfortable in where you have been appointed, and by the way, Tinubu appointed the FCT minister. I have not seen Tinubu demanding and insisting that he will run just his agenda the way he wants it, which I know he should, but I have not seen two of them at dagger drawn, And for me, whatever happens, we need to resolve this and resolve it so fast. Because I said it on one of your interviews. When River State sneezes, the entire nation will catch cold.
Yeah, I mean,
and trouble is brewing somewhere, and the earlier we sort it out, the better. And it's resolvable. And we can talk about the remedy. I try to be as balanced as possible, presenting the truth so that anybody who is listening to me will agree with me and, of course, has the right to disagree. Number one, I don't think that the governor intention is to impose this speaker from what has happened. You know, I think the lawmakers, even if they are two people, they
well, in this sense that there are three actually. They
form quorum. They form quorum. They are the only legal lawmakers we know as of today, going by that motion. Until after May 29, if there's a reversal, or maybe the other faction will go to court. That's fine. The mantra now in the political circle is go to court. You know. So with that said, I think that the governor is trying to do what he can. And let me also say that I've had personal interaction with him, you know, and I saw a man who is honest, who wants to lead, who wants to help people, who kept asking for 1 hour 30 minutes when we met. He kept asking, he said, my brother, tell me, what are they looking for? What are people looking for? All these, so
well, he uses.
Is this the first time an individual have helped someone to become a governor? Let me take you back just recently. The governor of Akwa Ibom, you know, my friend, is the governor of Akwa Ibom State. I was told that for months, the man had not shown up he showed up at Government House recently and had a standing ovation.
That's the former governor,
yes.
Udom Emmanuel.
Exactly. So, what, is he killing Umoino for anything? Have you heard anything between both of them? You know? Okay, let's go again. Umahi, Ebonyi State. I mean, that guy is also tough. But they are working together.
And himself and Wike actually ministers on that.
They're working together. You know, the Enugu State, the former governor helped him and he became the governor. You're not hearing anything. Why Rivers? And this is a record. It's almost like a geometric progression. It jumps from 2, 4, 6. It happens all the time. You know. So what will the remedies? What would anybody consider? Well, I think number one is both of them needs to have a discussion, and a discussion that is overseen by a neutral person. One person, you know, ask me if I'm the president. The president should call a meeting of elders that can be trusted, that are neutral, and give them the marching order to go and resolve this crisis. The law is simple. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't need to be one to know the simple literary and even legal interpretation of section 109 subsection 1G. Very clear. And then, of course, this confusion of some lawyers and some lawmakers that are trying to juxtapose it with Section 68, which has to do with the National Assembly. And now, you know, so it's very clear. You left, there was no crisis in PDP. Somebody was in court, he said, that's your reason. That's not. Yeah, and I think also, in fairness to them, they are probably waiting to see the outcome of a legal process, you know, which then mandates them to do the needful. And of course, if there is an outcome of a legal process, you know the role that people like myself and several plays within the democratic process and of course, INEC. We will be on their neck to then conduct, you know, but right now, it's almost like a lacuna existing, you know, and they don't know what to do. To be honest with you, if I'm in their shoes, if in the shoes of Professor Mom, I will wait to see the outcome. Well, you know, the former governor has a very huge influence in the State House. So, no is a no-go area.
That's an Aso Rock Villa.
Yes, it's a no-go area. So, you know, and it's unfortunate that my dear president is ignoring, and maybe somehow we are pretending that, okay, the thing will resolve itself. This is not the usual political statement of his family affairs. This is not a family affair. Yeah, but the former governor has a very huge influence in the State House. So, no is a no-go area.
That's an Aso Rock Villa.
Yes, it's a no-go area. So, you know, and it's unfortunate that my dear President, is ignoring, and maybe somehow we are pretending that, okay, the thing will resolve itself. This is not the usual political statement of his family affairs. This is not a family affair.
Yeah, but what will you expect? I mean, President Tinubu has said that he was happy to receive these lawmakers who are coming into his party. I mean,
he received
any political leader would be happy to have about 27 lawmakers defecting to his party.
You are the #1 citizen of the country who swore to uphold the Constitution. You should not in any way accept an unconstitutional gift.
Even if it's of benefit to your party?
A benefit, of course. Wait a minute. The party and the nation, which comes first? The nation comes first. The party and the Constitution, which comes first? The Constitution comes first. You know, and you know, President Tinubu should know that he suffered some of these things in the hand of the then President Olusegun Obasanjo. And he should be the one standing up to correct this kind of thing.
Well, when politicians are looking for second term, there's nothing that they won't do to actually seek support ahead of time.
Well, you better get second term of a nation that is intact, not a nation that is in crisis. And Rivers State is one place that if trouble starts, it can affect the whole nation. But I know my people. We are peaceful, peaceful people, very people that wants to ensure that we stay together as a nation, you know. And I don't think anybody or any group in Rivers State will become lawless. No. They're no longer lawmakers. That's until maybe after the determination of 29, or maybe they will go to court trying to reinstate themselves, you know. But you see, truth be told, I don't think they expected this kind of, you know, fallback. I don't think they expected that they are going to see this type of resistance, you know.
So the government is waking up.
Yeah, they will not succeed.
All right.
God will not allow them to succeed. I can dove my heart for the IG, you know. He did the right thing, and because #1 goal of the police is to maintain law and order. If the governor had gone there without protection and something happens to him, the IG would have been held and the commissioner of police there would have been held responsible. Now, IG, Mr. IG, sir, please stay neutral in this whole process. Maintain law and order. You're right. You have a right to protect the governor. You have a right to protect the ex-lawmakers. You have a right to protect everyone called Nigeria. And that's the job you should do. It doesn't matter who sits in a higher corridor. His former commissioner claiming that he told the university had just released a disclaimer.
That's the Attorney General of the state who said that he wanted to go back to the university.
Can you imagine the enemies that this guy has been sleeping with? So you support his enemy, and you're coming on national television to say you're totally loyal to the same person that you are working for.
Well, if the governor wasn't when they were imposed on the governor, he didn't complain to Nigerians. So I mean, he would have to continue to manage them.
That shows you he was willing to carry out whatever they had agreed. Now, about 18 commissioners, the Wike camp appointed 17.
All right.
How can you work with that?
I think that's